why did God create laws for Israel, right, in the Old Testament, just for Galatians and Paul to say that they don't have to follow the laws anymore?
I think if you look at the story of the Bible, and you look at Israel as like a person, when children are young, we have more rules. Don't stick your hand in the light socket. you know,
Yeah.
don't go out in the road. And if you look at Israel, and especially if you incorporate the New Covenant into it, the New Covenant is a more mature, more developed way of looking and relating to God. He did these laws to kind of protect them. We have the Ten Commandments, and then we have a whole host of other laws. And actually, when you get to the New Testament, there was a lot of debate on how much of that law they needed to incorporate. Because Christ was a very radical person at the time. He's saying, hey, you have all this stuff, but I'm giving you a new covenant. And there's many references in the Old Testament to the new covenant coming. I think it just had to do with the age of the nation, giving them some structure, teaching them the whole concept of obedience, and to not to get them to a place where the world was before the flood, where it became a very wild place. There was some type of order. But the great thing is, and one of the reasons my dad loved King David. He loved all the stories of King David, and I do too. And David is actually an archetype. I'll take credit for this statement. I said, David is a New Testament character stuck in Old Testament times. He believed in interceding directly to God, and at the time, the priests were the intercessors. So David kind of said, and even David put the prayer shawl on himself. And so I had a pastor one time said Bobby Fowler went to the New Testament just long enough to get saved, and then went back to the Old Testament. I used to really love teaching the Old Testament.